Thank you. Here we go. Triple prime. Here we go. Triple prime. What I'm seeing is D is at -3. No, +3. Wait, I don't want D, I want M. So 9, and then it's at -4. Who was right, Imogen? No one. Okay. And then I see that the B is at 6, -13. Okay. And number 1, I know it's a little bit hard to figure out X's and Y's on a graph where they don't give you 1-for-1 boxes. Number 2, I can see that part of the problem was you guys have different angles on your graph, so the coordinates were matching up. Part number 3, you can see you're still not awake from this time change. All right, so let's see what we can do about the next endpoints. You know, I'm not even sure how useful this is, some of this. Let's talk a little bit. Let's see what they have in 4. Describe how a horizontal translation changes the coordinates. When you're moving right and left, what changes? The X, gentlemen, we're on 4, changes. The Y doesn't. Describe how a vertical translation changes things. Who's going to change? Y changes. Who's going to stay the same? The X doesn't. Okay, so first of all, let's double check. Right here, we said, look, those Y's aren't changing. This was a shift where we slid it over that way. We do have things that were positive moved down to be things that are negative. This one was, this one was a vertical translation. Now the X is staying the same, and now the Y is getting moved down. So this one was that translation. X's stay the same, 4, -4, -7, -7, but the Y's change. All right, flip the page. Let's look at these angles. Did you get a compass yet? Do you guys all have a compass? Yeah, you've been using it to stab things. You all right over there? Oh. I think you might need to move, Christopher, for him to get a compass. We have what? That one has a pencil, this one has a pencil. Wait, it doesn't have a pointy thing though.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, first, we're going to duplicate angles today. The first thing that you're going to do is they say construct something twice as big. let's construct one that's the same size to start with, and then we'll look at how you do twice as big. So first, give yourself a point, A prime. Then we're going to make the bottom ray first. Actually, let's make the top ray first. And it doesn't kind of put it in the right direction. Poor guy. Okay. So you start with a point and you start with one side of the angle. Did I start these guys back up? Yes, perfect. Okay, so now you take your compass to the angle that you're duplicating and you make an arc that goes through both sides, both rays of that angle. Uh-oh, I squished mine. You gotta be careful and keep it the same width, your compass set to the same spot. Now you're gonna very carefully pick your compass up, hold that same measure, come over to A, and make a matching arc. It's hard. Remember too, it might work better to keep the pointy part down and move the book underneath. The last time we did this, we just ripped the pages out. I don't know if that'll help too. So this arc and that arc are made with the compass at the same width. Are you with me to there?
Indeed we are.
Okay, good. Now we're going to take the compass and we may need to adjust its size. Okay, you're going to put the pointy end on where the arc hits. There's all this motion here. What's going on? Okay, you need to adjust your compass so the pencil and the point of the compass match the places where the arc has crossed the two rays on this angle. Now carefully hold that length, pick it up, put the pointy part where the straight line and the new arc crisscross, and you just need a tiny arc now. So the first arc, they matched the two angles. The second arc, you got to match the two sides of the angle. The pointy part goes where the crisscross is, and the pencil part makes a little tiny mark on that other arc. Where they crisscross, you're going to go ahead and put your pen right here at the crisscross, line your ruler up
and draw a line
with the vertex of the angle and draw a line. The angle measure should be the same, this arc, or this angle, and this angle, A and A prime. Now, they want us to make one twice as big. All right? So instead of A prime, what should we call that one?
A double prime.
Should we call it A double prime? But that would kind of sound like it's the same.
Yeah, how about B prime?
You want to call it B?
Indeed,
B for big.
Yeah.
Give yourself a B. Give B a vertex. And make the top ray. Now, once again, we're going to go over to the first original angle and size the compass to that big arc that we put through the original angle. Bring your compass on down to B. And carefully make a large-ish arc from down pretty low up to the top, because we're going to make a double-sized angle, or one that's twice as big. It's hard to tell how much of this arc we're going to need. Can you see that, or is that too faint?
I can see it. And I'm blind.
Okay. Now, again, to copy the size of an angle, we go right here and line up the intersection of both rays with the two parts of your compass. Bring that down, and just like we did before, pointy part on the ray, make a little line. That would create an angle that matches, but we want one twice as big, so pick up your compass holding its length. Where that first crisscross was, put the pointy part and make a second crisscross. I'll make these darker. So there was one there was one there. Can you see how that worked?
Yeah.
How are we going to finish this?
Draw that line.
Right here, this crisscross is what we want this time. That just found us a halfway point. Now we have an angle twice as big as A.
Yes, it is.
Question 2. How is duplicating an angle similar to duplicating a line segment?
We're both 20.
Okay, what does that mean?
You're duplicating both.
What does duplicate mean? You are making a copy of both. What does it mean when you make a copy of something? What? It's an exact replica. What does it mean if it's an exact replica? If I made a replica of Brody, they look the same. All right, flip the page. Oh, I think that might be enough for today. Are you ready to bisect an angle?
No.
Is your brain full?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and put our book back. You can bring up compasses and rulers.